Hello friends and subscribers, hope you're all doing well. Today I'm going to be ranking the albums from Metallica. Metallica, legendary metal band, and I've really gotten into Metallica a lot this year. They've become one of my favourite bands. In recent years I've not really been a fan of them. I liked them when I was a kid. I listened to the Black Album a lot. But in a lot of recent years, I've just not been interested in them anymore until of course this year. Now I absolutely love them now. So I'm just doing the studio albums here. No live albums, no compilations, no EPs. So S&M will not be included. Live shit will not be included. Garage Days Revisited will not be included. And Garage Inc. will not be included. So just the 11 studio albums. And before I start, this ranking is just based on my own opinion. It's my order of preference. It's how I feel about these albums. There's no right or wrong here. It's completely subjective. We're all entitled to our own opinions. We all like what we like and hear these things differently. So if you want to give your own ranking in the comments below, then please do. So let's start. So starting at the bottom is Load. This came out in 1996. I find this just a bit of an average album, to be honest. There's some great songs on here. I do like Until It Sleeps. Hero of the Day is pretty good. Ain't My Bitch, I quite like. The House That Jack Built. There's some good songs on here, but as a whole, I find it to be kind of average. But yeah, so that's. I mean, if you love this album, then more power to you. But yeah, I just find it average. So that's my number 11. Number 10 is Reload, 1997. This is kind of like a sister album to Load. It's only slightly better than Load, but just like Load, I find it to be somewhat average, but still some great songs. Fuel, I think Fuel's great actually. I like Fuel. Memory Remains, Unforgiven 2. It's nowhere near as good as the original Unforgiven from the Black Album, but I do like Unforgiven 2. What else we got? Better Than You is alright. Bad Seed, but other than that, there's just not a lot of songs on here that are that memorable. But it's alright. Load and Reload, they're not bad albums, to me they're just okay. And number 9 is their most recent album, 72 Seasons, which came out this year. I don't own it yet. I quite liked this actually. I mean, it's not the best thing that they've done. It's not much to write home about, but I thought it was a really good album. The title track I really liked. Screaming Suicide was great. I like this album. But yeah, it's number 9 for me. So number 9, 72 Seasons. Number 8, Hardwired to Self-Destruct. 2016 this came out. This is a double album. And I like this a lot. Again, I don't really like this as much as a lot of people. I know a lot of Metallica fans are really into this one. I like it a lot, but it's probably not as much as most Metallica fans do. But it's really kind of thrashy. It's reminiscent of their early sound. That's what I really like about this one. We got Hardwired. That's a great track. Atlas Rise. Halo on Fire. Moth into Flame. Spit Out the Bone. Really good album, but not one of my favourites. And number 7, Death Magnetic, 2008, and considered a comeback album. You know, this was a return to form after Saint Anger, and yeah, I like this a lot. That Was Just Your Life, great song. End of the Line, Broken Beat and Scarred, The Day That Never Comes, All Nightmare Long, Cyanide. Cyanide is one of my favourite Metallica songs of all time. So yeah, I love that. And Unforgiven 3, which I like Unforgiven 3, but again, it's not as good as the original. Suicide and Redemption, Judas Kiss, very good album. A very good comeback album. Now, number 6. Now this is a controversial. This may be controversial, but hey, it's my opinion. It's my ranking. Number 7 is Saint Anger, 2003. Now, hear me out, friends. I heard this album when I was a lot younger, and I hated it. I didn't really like it that much. Like at that time, the only 2 Metallica albums I knew were this and the Black Album. I loved the Black Album. I didn't like this. I heard the Black Album first, but then I listened to this, and I was like, "What the hell is this?" So yeah, if you'd asked me when I was a lot younger, I would have agreed that this album sucked ass. That it was absolute shit, absolute garbage. But just this year, I've been going back to listen to this album. I've been re-listening to it again and again, and I'm actually enjoying this album a lot more when I'm re-listening to it. And yeah, the production is bad. Like the drums sounds like Lars Ulrich is banging on some biscuit tins, or metal bins. I mean, yeah, this album is it is crap when you compare it to their masterpieces such as Master of Puppets or the Black Album or Ride the Lightning. You know, of course, when you compare it to those albums, of course it's crap. But yeah, to me, it's one of those albums that I feel that it's one of those albums. It's so bad, it's good. That's how I feel about this album. There's just so many songs on here. I love Frantic. I love the title track. I love Some Kind of Monster. I really like Dirty Window. Invisible Kid, I really like. I really like The Unnamed Feeling. You know, Purify, I don't hate it like most people do, but it's probably my least favourite. My World, I really like. So yeah, I actually do have a soft spot for this album. I always liked the cover though. I do like that cover. It's because I'm really into horror movies, so yeah, there's like the devil's fist there, and that. Let me show you the whole picture there. Let me just unfold it. I hate these digipacks. I like that, and that as well. Because the thing is, Metallica, they didn't make this album for the fans. They made it for themselves, because there was a lot going on when they made this album. Like James Hetfield was in rehab because of his addiction. The band members were not getting along, especially James and Lars Ulrich. You know, they were constantly, they were at each other's throats. So yeah, I really like Saint Anger. I have a soft spot for Saint Anger. That's why it's number 6 for me. And the top 5 now. Now the top 5, these are all masterpieces. Number 5, And Justice for All. When was this? 1988. Great album. It's the first album without Cliff Burton, who Who was tragically killed. It's the first album with Jason Newsted, although unfortunately his bass is eliminated from the mix. That's really my only issue with this album. You know, the bass is buried in the mix. You know, I think they need to. I actually think they need to remix this album and add Lars Ulrich's Jason Newsted's bass onto this album. And they should probably rename it. They should call it "And Justice for Jason." But it's a great album. That's really my only complaint. But it's a great album. I love the title track. Eye of the Beholder is great. One is great. The Shortest Straw. Harvester of Sorrow. Frayed Ends of Sanity. To Live is to Die. Great album. I think this was a double album when it came out, but it's all on one CD. Number 4, the brilliant debut album, Kill 'Em All. This came out in 1983, and arguably it's the album that started thrash metal. I love that cover. Isn't that awesome? Yeah, great stuff. Hit the Lights, killer. The Four Horsemen, Motor Breath, Jump in the Fire, Whiplash. The Phantom Lord, No Remorse, Seek and Destroy. I mean, just a 10 out of 10 album for me. So that's number 4. Number 3, Master of Puppets. Most Metallica fans would probably have this at number 1, but it's number 3 for me. It's a great album. It's got a Battery, the title track, one of my favourites, The Thing That Should Not Be, Welcome Home Sanitarium, Disposable Heroes, Damage Inc., and I've got my Master of Puppets t-shirt on. Let me just, I don't know if you can see there. Coincidence? Maybe not. Maybe I did put it on purpose for this video. But yeah, Master of Puppets, it's a masterpiece. Yeah, it's a 10 out of 10 album for me. So that's number 3. Number 2 is Ride the Lightning. It's their second album. So this came out in 1984, just 1 year after the first album. Yeah, this is fantastic. Fight Fire with Fire, killer. Probably their most thrashiest song. The title track is great. For Whom the Bells Toll. Fade to Black, Trapped Under Ice, Creeping Death. A lot of Metallica fans don't like Escape. I like it. I mean, it's not one of my favourite Metallica songs, but I do like it. The Call of Cthulhu. Great album. I love that cover. They had such great album covers. You know, I love the electric chair flying. Master of Puppets has a great album cover as well, by the way. The cemetery. So number 1. You probably know what number 1 is by now if you're familiar with Metallica's catalogue. It's the Black Album. Some would argue that this album hasn't aged well. But for me, I have a really soft spot for this because this was how I discovered Metallica. This was my introduction to Metallica, and I just have many, many fond memories of listening to this album. I can understand that most people are probably tired of a lot of the songs on here. I'm personally not. You know, I can still enjoy this album today, you know. I mean, what have we got? Enter Sandman. Great. Sad But True. Holier Than Thou. The Unforgiven, of course. Wherever I May Roam with that electric sitar. Don't Tread on Me. Through the Never. The beautiful Nothing Else Matters. Of Wolf and Man. The Struggle Within. Struggle Within is, I think, is really underrated. The only 2 tracks on here I'm not too crazy about are The God That Failed and My Friend in Misery. They're good songs. They've just never been my favourites. But everything else on here, I just absolutely love. So yeah, number one for me, it's the Black Album. So hope you enjoyed that that ranking, and give the video a thumbs up if you did. Subscribe for more content. Click the bell so you don't miss out on an upload. Just need to take a drink. My mouth's pretty dry. And yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you again in the next video. Take care.